Is the stage being set for the global food crisis prophecy of Revelation 6:6? Michael Snyder reports. We will soon see a major prophecy in the book of Revelation being fulfilled. Will we see it? Global food prices have been skyrocketing and hunger has been spreading like wildfire all over the world. We desperately need 2024 to be a year of good harvests, but unfortunately, weather patterns are not cooperating at all, and the bad news about harvest forecast just continues to pour in from many of the planet's most important agricultural regions. Global food supplies just keep getting tighter and tighter, and the agricultural price spikes that we are witnessing right now are definitely quite ominous. Could it be possible that the stage is now being set for the global food crisis prophecy of Revelation 6:6? In that verse, we are warned of a time when food prices will soar to absolutely frightening levels. And then it says this, and then I heard a voice in the midst of the four living creatures saying, a quart of wheat for a day's wages, and 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages, and do not harm the oil and the wine. Don't harm them. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be expensive. Olive oil in Greece has gone up 100% since last year. Now, we certainly have not reached that point yet, but we are on the way there. In this article, I'd like to share what has been going on with a number of our most important agricultural commodities recently. For example, poor harvests in Brazil have caused the price of orange juice to approximately double over the past 12 months. Prices of the breakfast staple have been climbing rapidly in recent years, partly driven by declining output in Florida, the main producer of orange juice in the US, and climate-fueled extreme weather in the main orange producing areas of Brazil. The South American agricultural powerhouse is the world's largest producer and exporter of orange juice, which means it plays a huge influential role in shaping the global industry. The benchmark frozen concentrate orange juice fruit futures trading on the Intercontinental Exchange in New York closed at $4.77 per pound on Wednesday, and that's nearly double the price registered a year ago. Prices have gone so bananas that some orange juice producers are actually considering turning to alternative fruits. Orange juice what happens to the orange trees then? The orange juice, are they going to cut them down or something? Orange juice makers are considering turning to alternative fruits such as mandarins as wholesale prices have gone bananas amid fears of poor harvests in Brazil. Prices of orange juice concentrate reached a new high of $4.95 a pound on future markets this week after growers in the main orange producing areas of Brazil said they were expecting the harvest to be 24% down on last year at 232 million 40.8 kilogram boxes, worse than the 15% fall previously predicted. The price of coffee is also going haywire. So if you love coffee, I would stock up now while you still can. Well, I tried stocking up last week. Thanks to extremely dry conditions in Brazil and Vietnam, coffee prices were up sharply this week. Coffee prices Tuesday rallied sharply with Arabica jumping to a 1-month high. Coffee prices soared Tuesday on concern that excessive dryness in Brazil and Vietnam will damage coffee crops and curb global production. SOMAR Meteorologia reported Monday that Brazil's Minas Gerais region received 3.5 millimeters of rain, or 69% of the historic average in the past week. Minas Gerais accounts for about 30% of Brazil's Arabica crop. Last Wednesday, coffee trader Volcafe said Vietnam's 2024-25 Robusta coffee crop may only be 24 million bags, the lowest in 13 years, as poor rainfall in Vietnam has caused irreversible damage to coffee blossoms. Volcafe also projects a global Robusta deficit of 4.6 million bags in 2024-25, a smaller deficit than the 9 million bag deficit seen in 2023-24, but the fourth consecutive year of Robusta bean deficits. Wheat is especially mentioned in Revelation 6:6, and Bloomberg is reporting that A confluence of factors has pushed the price of wheat to the highest level in 10 months. Wheat briefly touched the highest in 10 months as cold and dry weather in major producers and the ongoing war in Ukraine deepened supply concerns. Futures climbed as much as 3.3% in Chicago before paring some of the gain. Analysts have been cutting production estimates for top exporter Russia in recent weeks, while Ukraine is headed for its driest May on record. Historically low rainfall in Western Australia is also adding to nervousness. Unfortunately, this is just the beginning. I'm entirely convinced that the price of wheat will soon go far higher than it is right now. So if you think that the price of bread is high now, just wait until you see what is coming next. Meanwhile, the price of beef just surged to another brand new all-time record high. Beef prices skyrocketed to a new record high this Memorial Day weekend, as industry experts warn costs could continue to rise even higher if current regulatory and economic conditions remain unchanged. Recent released data shows that all fresh beef retail value, quote unquote, a composite value based on choice beef, other beef, and hamburger retail prices, shot up to $794.90 in April, according to the Economic Research Council, the highest price ever recorded. The size of the U.S. cattle herd is the smallest that it's been in decades, and one rancher named Shad Sullivan recently warned that beef will soon be a luxury that only the wealthy will be able to afford on a regular basis. Mr. Sullivan said, "We are seeing prices at an all-time high, and it's getting close to that point where the consumer is going to say, 'I can't do this anymore, it's just too costly.'" They, officials and regulators, are trying to push these high prices to a new norm where meat is only a treat for the wealthy. That is where they are pushing us, and that is where we are going, end quote. You may be thinking that if beef gets too expensive, you just eat more chicken and turkey. Sadly, chicken and turkey prices are poised to go a lot higher thanks to H5N1, a fresh wave of the bird flu sweeping across the nation, and Iowa Republican Governor Kim Reynolds just declared a state of emergency in one county in her state due to an outbreak there. Iowa Republican Governor Kim Reynolds signed a disaster proclamation on Tuesday for one of her state's counties as public health officials prepare to euthanize more than 4 million chickens exposed to a highly contagious bird flu. The order comes after a case of avian influenza was confirmed among a large flock of egg-laying chickens in Sioux County on Tuesday by state and local agriculture officials, according to reports from CBS News. And as a result, the animals will be destroyed and their remains will be isolated in an attempt to prevent the further spread of the contagion. In total, some 4.2 million chickens will be put down. So just think about the last sentence for a moment. What do you think that losing 2.4 million chickens will do to egg prices? Everywhere you look, there are signs of trouble. Unfortunately, this is all happening at a time when foreigners have more control over our food supply than ever before. Foreigners now control more than 43 million acres of U.S. farmland, and this should deeply alarm all of us. A recent map has revealed the alarming trend of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, acquiring vast swaths of American farmland, raising serious national security concerns. Foreign ownership of U.S. agricultural land expanded to approximately 43.4 million acres in 2022, according to data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA. And according to the USDA, Chinese investors' ownership of U.S. agricultural lands has skyrocketed from merely 13,720 acres in 2010 to an astounding 346,915 acres by 2022, a total of the 43 million acres. Chinese entities hold ownership of farmland across 29 of the 50 U.S. states. I have been warning for many years that global food supplies will get tighter and tighter. Now it's happening right in front of our eyes, and hundreds of millions of people are going to be led hungry to bed. They're going to bed hungry every single night. And I wish I could tell you that this thing will soon get better, but I can't. We're living really in a time of end times, and the things that are written in the book of Revelation really will take place. This is by Michael Snyder on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Michael's new book entitled Chaos, available in paperback and for Kindle on Amazon, and you can check out his new Substack newsletter right here. About the author, Michael Snyder, extremely controversial new book, Chaos, available in paperback and Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 7 other books available on Amazon, including End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, Commissions Earned. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, The Most Important News, and he always freely and happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. You can connect with Michael on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and share his articles on your own social media accounts. It's definitely a great help. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.